Today, I want to talk to you about why coaches should not objection handle. If you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers and they will be able to see themselves that you are the right fit for them. You've just bullied that person into now basically starting a relationship to work with you where they've got to trust you, open up to you, feel vulnerable around you. It's the worst way to start an ongoing relationship. I don't want coaches to become sleazy salespeople. I don't want people to eventually feel like they don't want to get on calls with coaches or any service business. They just put the defenses up and now you're trying to break them down again and handle objections. That's what objection handling is. Don't just go out there grabbing money. I want people to be out there that are genuine, authentic, that actually care about the person on the other side. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about why coaches should not objection handle or handle objections. Now, this might seem controversial because if you're a coach, any sort of coach online offering a service business, and you are doing a sales call or consultation call, discovery call, whichever fancy name you want to call it, ultimately, it's a goal to see if that person's the right fit for you. And then obviously you want to collect money at some point. It's a sales call, right? It's a sales process. So for those of you that hate the idea of sales, it doesn't matter which camp you're in. Either way, I totally believe you shouldn't be handling objections. And why does my opinion matter? Because it might not to you, but I've built PB Academy to over 250 active clients. We've done that purely online with a team of coaches and a sales system, and I handled every single sales call myself. So I was selling for the whole team. And by doing so over the last 2 years, I've done over 1,000 sales calls and close rate at 89%, mainly because we pre-sold, right? Which is something I want to talk about now. But let me get into the story. There's two different types of sales, okay? So let me just explain the two different types. So type 1, okay? Type 1, I'm going to call it one-time transaction. Simple, yeah? Time transaction. And then number 2, so just do a different color, because this is the important one. This is basically for coaching. We're going to have a relationship starter. As you could tell, I haven't thought of these names before, but these are the two different types of sales. And you'll understand it very quickly because, let me give you an example. How many of you have been on holiday when you've been to somewhere like Spain, a European holiday by the beach, and you have the people that come around selling, copycat brands of sunglasses, watches, anything like that to make you look a little bit cooler on holiday. It's a very cheap price, and it solves a little problem if you need sunglasses or you just want a little cool watch that's going to make you look cool. But anyway, whatever reason, right? What happens in those scenarios, right? Even though you know those guys are probably struggling, a lot of people, I've seen it all the time, like to haggle with these people, okay? Why? Because it's a one-time transaction, right? You don't know that person doesn't know you. You know they desperately want to make a sale. And what happens is, I've seen it, my father loves doing it, right? Because he's old school, and if he can save a pound, a penny, anything at all, he will work as hard as he can. He will spend as much time as he can to save that pound. Because to him, no matter what I try to convince him, time is not as valuable as money to him, right? He thinks every pound is the most important thing in the world. So he will try and haggle his way to just get the best deal for himself. Now, this is fine in a one-time transaction, okay? But in a relationship starter, that is where you still are going to have potentially this haggle, this bargaining deal. And an example of this is the perfect example, let's not make a weird analogy, is a coaching relationship that you're about to start. So this is why I don't believe in objection handling. So let's say you've gone through the whole sales call process. Now, let's say that person finds it too expensive or a little bit far out of their budget for whatever reason, and they genuinely, that's the actual reason, they are struggling to get the money to actually make this work for themselves. Let's say you really make them feel extremely shit about the pain they're in right now, the struggles they've got, how they're a failure to their family, they're not a role model to their kids. You use all that salesy, harsh techniques to make someone feel absolutely shit to the point where they throw their last bit of money on this program to work with you. Now, you've just bullied that person into now basically starting a relationship to work with you where they've got to trust you, open up to you, feel vulnerable around you. It's the worst way to start an ongoing relationship because you've just battered that person into the ground, and guaranteed in the next couple of days or in the next month, unless you've got some serious harsh contracts in place, that person's going to stop. They're not going to respond. They're not going to check in, and they're not going to last long term with you. The most important part of an ongoing relationship starter when you're making a sale is the first 48 hours. That's why I'm a big believer in decreasing buyer's remorse. These are totally different tactics where you just give a shitload of value that they don't expect, like they're not paying for, and it's way more than they expect, and it just lowers buyer's remorse, because especially with the service business, it's normally a long time before they see that reward of what they've paid for. So if we can kind of give them that boost immediately, it's going to make them feel a whole lot better about it, right? And it's proven that the LTV will be much longer in terms of how long they stay compared to if you don't do that and remove that buyer's remorse. Going totally off tangent now, but as you can see, like a lot of stories coming through from just what I've done with PB. Why this is important when it comes down to sales training and just the way that you view sales as a coach. Because I like to talk to the people that don't want to be a salesperson. They don't want to be that Wolf of Wall Street closer, you know, scrolling through all the sales trainers, the gurus, the Andy Elliots, you know, people like that are just talking about like aggressively used car salesman vibes, pushing someone over the line aggressively. Like nothing is a reason not to work with us. You just got to get their money. You got to get them over the line. That is not what we're about. What I believe in and what I've proven with my results of literally my lived experience is if you ask the right questions, and I know this is going to sound easy, but if you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers, and they will be able to see themselves that you are the right fit for them. Because if you genuinely offer a great service and that person on the other side of the end of the line is your target audience, then yes, your service 100% works for them. You know that, but you've got to get them to see that, right? And the way you do that is just by making sure that they understand clearly what their reasons are for doing this, what their pain points are, what they're struggling with, how your solution is the right solution for them. Then you've got to mark all the deadlines that they've got, the checkpoints that they've got, agree a start date before you get to price or anything like that. Present them with a few packages. Make sure there's one there that fits them 100%. Like, I don't want to go into the details of how you make this work. I've got a full training on it, and just the checkpoint, the list of questions you actually need to go through to make this a success. It's all down below, because that will take hours, literally hours, to go through properly. But my point with this video that I'm trying to get you to see is you're not going to make more sales and have more successes by handling objections. If you learn like the four most common objections, such as I need to talk to my wife, maybe start in future, not right now, I don't have the money for this, and I don't have the time for this, then you may learn of how the right way to get through those initial defenses and get to the root problem and get people over the line. But you will be respected far more as a coach and as a service provider if you pre-handle those objections by just asking the right questions. Why are you leaving it to the last minute where you've shown your cards, you've given away the price, you've given away the packages, they just put the defenses up, and now you're trying to break them down again and handle objections? Like, that's what objection handling is. You should pre-handle that way earlier in the discovery process and the discovery part of the call. So my point here is I don't want coaches to become sleazy salespeople. I don't want people to eventually feel like they don't want to get on calls with coaches or any service business because they know they're just going to be sold to no matter what, even if the program isn't right for them. I want people to be out there that are genuine, authentic, that actually care about the person on the other side. And there will be times where you will get on a call with someone, you will know they're not the right fit for you, and just be honest. Like, that is the whole point. Say maybe this isn't the right thing for you. I've literally had to say that the other day to someone that wanted to join our gym, and I had to say maybe this isn't the right place for you. It's not the environment you're looking for, and you probably won't get the support you need because of the specific issues they had. Don't just go out there grabbing money. If you want to have a good reviews, testimonials, results, it has to be the right person for you as well. But they will only see that if you ask the right questions, okay? So just to give you a quick idea of like why I call it not sales training, because it's literally the opposite of that. It's not objection handling, not guru salespeople. The NOT framework is 3 things. No scripts, pillars only. By pillars, you make sure you just bring the conversation back to cover every single checkpoint, every single question. The O stands for objections pre-handled, not handled at the end, okay? Like a sleazy salesperson. And the T, not yet, N-O-T, the T stands for talk less, sell more. You shouldn't be persuading someone with your words and loads of paragraphs. And if you saw the conversation transcript, you shouldn't be talking that much. You should just be listening, mirroring back, so they hear that you've heard what they say. You listen well, and then you ask the right questions. And if you ask the right questions, I believe you will get anyone to really understand the value in what you offer. So yeah, bit of a rant today, because I wanted to make sure people understand like why I believe you shouldn't be objection handling, because you should just be asking the right questions beforehand. And if you cover all the bases, you cover all the correct pillars, nothing should be left for them to even bring up, because you should have covered everything beforehand. So that's the whole point in a good successful call, and I believe that's actually what makes a good salesperson anyway. So the funny thing is, by you not wanting to become a good salesperson, or what you think is like sleazy sales, used car salesman tactics, you actually become a good salesperson by asking the right questions. So if you like this type of video, it's all about this channel, scaling a service-based business online, like a coaching business. And yeah, I hope you have a good week. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you soon.